All right, guys, so I put together some quick tips of ways to challenge traditional body weight only exercises so that you can build strength and or muscle mass if that's what you're looking to build. So with strength, traditionally, you're looking for somewhere around 1 to 5 reps to build strength, true strength that's going to translate to your barbell lifts and other stuff, and somewhere around an exercise that you can only complete 20 reps or less if you're looking for hypertrophy or building lean muscle mass. So for most of you, obviously, air squats just aren't going to get it done. So one of the things that you can do in order to make bodyweight exercises more challenging is you can play around with leverage. So like I just said, air squats probably not going to get it done. Most of you can do well over 20 air squats. But if you play around with leverage and now you're doing single leg squats, like a split squat or something, then maybe that's a little bit more challenging. And maybe 20 reps is really tough. Maybe you're stuck at like 18, and then you can build some lean muscle mass, getting better at your bodyweight split squats. From there, you can go a little bit more difficult and do some Bulgarian split squats where you're forced to use your front leg even a little bit more. You can use your back leg less, and then you're deepening the range of motion as well to make it more difficult. So you can play around with leverage like that. The same thing can be done for push-ups. So if you want some added examples of very difficult bodyweight only exercise that you could do to build either strength or hypertrophy, I've got some examples for you. So number 1, the pistol squat. This is a very, very difficult bodyweight only exercise that you can do. What you're going to want to do is bring your arms and legs out in front of you, and then from there, you're sending your hips back first. Make sure you don't push your knee forward first. Pulling yourself down as deep as you can. Ideally, that's rock bottom where your butt's up against your ankle, but if not, top of the thigh to parallel is really good too, and then coming back up out of the hole. Make sure you stretch your hip flexors out after you do this, because not only is the leg that's doing the squat going to get very, very tired, your glute will be sore, and you're going to have to use your glute like you're not used to having to do. You'll really feel your glutes if you do these correctly. But also the leg that you're holding up, your hip flexors are going to get really strong, but you're definitely going to want to stretch them out a little bit too, because they can kind of start to feel like they're going to cramp up. So number 1, pistol squat. Awesome single leg variation that's extremely challenging. Number 2, the skater squat. It's really similar to a pistol squat, except you're hinging a little bit more and your leg is behind you instead of in front of you. So you won't have the hip flexor issue with the skater squat. But again, another single leg squat variation that is extremely challenging. Number 3, a Nordic hamstring curl. This one is ridiculously hard. And I know we're talking about having no equipment, but really you just need another person for this one. So if you've got another person, or I guess you could try to use a couch, but it's going to have to be kind of a pretty heavy couch. Here in this example video, I'm using a barbell loaded up with weights to kind of keep your heels down. Basically anything that's going to keep your heels down. And then from here, try to keep your hips fully extended, and don't fall on your face when you do these. If you've never done these before, they're super hard. It feels like your hamstrings are practically tearing. But what you're going to want to do is slowly lower yourself down to the ground in as much control as you can. And then once you get to the point where you feel like you can't hold it, bring your hands out in front of you and kind of catch yourself in a push-up. And then especially in the beginning, I would use your arms to push yourself back up and then pull yourself back into that position from there. Don't try to just pull yourself without using your arms from the bottom at some point. Or maybe some of you can do it if you're like a really fast sprinter. Sprinters are usually pretty good at them because their relative strength's really high and their hamstrings are really well developed. But Nordic hamstring curls, extremely difficult. Number 4, quad lean backs. These ones are awesome because not only are you working on quad strength and eccentric strength and isometric strength if you're holding them a little bit at that bottom position, but you're also mobilizing the hip flexors in the quads as well. So you're getting a really intense stretch in the quads. On this one, make sure that you're bracing your butt, like you're pinching a quarter between your butt cheeks and bracing your core too, so you're not pulling on your low back too much. So take a big deep breath in, diaphragmatic breath, breathing into the belly, brace your core, brace your glutes, then control yourself down. And especially in the beginning, don't go too far because it's going to be easier to go down than it is to come up. So kind of ease yourself into going deeper and deeper and deeper on these. Number 5, single arm push-up. Either single arm, single leg push-ups, or some of those variations that we talked about as far as cheating your arm out to the side a little bit. But a single arm push-up, a very difficult horizontal pressing exercise. Your chest will get very sore from this. So that will allow you to build plenty of strength working on single arm push-up variations. The handstand push-up. Working on your handstand push-up, a really great way. Your entire body weight upside down, and then controlling yourself down and working on your vertical press from there. So handstand push-up, again, another super challenging body weight only exercise. So again, just the more ways you can find ways to play around with leverage to make things more difficult. If you're stuck with just your body weight and you actually want to get stronger and have that translate to strength, then find exercise variations that you have a hard time of doing 5 or less reps. And for hypertrophy and building muscle mass, I would say 20 and less reps. So I hope you guys found that useful. Don't forget to subscribe and leave some comments below if you want me to go over anything, you guys have any questions. All right, go ahead and give them a try.